Hey, Jerry Stevenson, Chief Redneck in Charge, the Redneck BBQ Lab in Gee's Crossroad, Benson, North Carolina. And I'm here today in RBL Studios to show you guys how to make smoked cabbage with onion and bacon like I do at home. First thing that I'd like you guys to do is I'd love for you to go and like this video, subscribe to our channel, click that notification bell so you see future videos that come out right when they pop out, and share this with your friends. Trying to spread the gospel of barbecue and some of the tasty side dishes one plate at a time with you guys, and that's the only way we can do it. And as always, please let us know your suggestions and your comments about this video or any future stuff you would like to see us shoot. So let's go ahead and hop into this. This is one of the things I think is what I call comfort food to me. It's a great side dish that's a hearty dish to have either by itself or as a side dish in the winter or in the springtime when cabbage is available. The spring cabbage is good. Winter cabbage to me is like one of the most underrated vegetables out there. Not only being versatile, it's just got this unique taste about it that if you fry it, you bake it, you boil it, you can eat it in coleslaw. And it's just one of those things that screams North Carolina to me. We're blessed with having abundance of a different variety of agricultural products, and these are one of the products that we have. This is a cabbage. It comes from the mountains of North Carolina. It takes a while for it to grow. It's the first thing you want to look for in a cabbage is it being very heavy. Cabbage is predominantly made up of water and firm, and that's the other thing that I like about my cabbage. North Carolina, it's heavy with a lot of moisture in it, and it's firm and doesn't smell fermented as well, I guess you could say that. So let's go ahead and I'll show you guys how I prepare it at home. First thing I want to do is I want to go ahead and quarter this cabbage so I can work with it. These are large, kind of cumbersome to work with. So the first thing we do is we go ahead, quarter these, basically take it into 4 pieces. And this part right here that you can see, this is the core of the cabbage and it extends on both sides. This is one of the pieces that I like to go ahead and just remove. It's bitter and it really adds nothing to this dish. Or when you make coleslaw, which if you subscribe to our channel, you may see how to make North Carolina coleslaw either right now or in the future. But you want to go ahead and remove that. Next, what I'll do is I'll actually cut this up into bite-sized chunks or pieces. And I put it into a cast iron pot. I love cooking in cast iron. Something I got from my mother. My mother used to cook everything in her cast iron skillet or Dutch oven. And I've kind of followed in her footsteps as well. I make desserts, side dishes, main dishes, all the other stuff that we like enjoying at home. So go ahead and get all that in there. This looks like it's a lot of cabbage, but as it cooks down, it's going to release a lot of water, and it's like collards. It will basically go from a big old pot of cabbage down to not a whole lot of cabbage. You can do this in your oven. I like to do it in the smoker. Reason being is most of the time when I'm smoking, I may be cooking one protein in there. And a lot of times there's a lot of room left over in there, and I'm like, why not? I go ahead and throw in a side dish, a dessert, like our strawberry cornbread cake, or I'll just go ahead and throw in some vegetables that I may use to make stews that you guys, like I said, if you subscribe to this YouTube channel, you may see us make sometime in the future, like my take on gumbo. And some of my Cajun friends are like, what do you guys know about gumbo? Well, they said the same thing about brisket to me several years ago. What did I know about brisket, not being from Texas? And I figured out how to make it pretty quickly. So there we've got that whole cabbage in there. you get some pieces that are like this, just go ahead and remove them. A lot of times they're the bitter part of cabbage. Just not a good bite, you know, and just hate to ruin a good bite of food sometime with a hard piece of cabbage core. But there we go. We pretty much got that cabbage broke down. Got it in our pot. Next thing that I like to do is go ahead and season the cabbage itself. We're going to use our Redneck BBQ Lab all-purpose seasoning. This is the rub that, as you've always heard me say, I use it on everything. And we're going to go ahead and give this cabbage a good seasoning right now while it's in the pot. Just kind of toss it just a little bit. Kind of mix it up just a bit. This will just kind of get things going. Our next layer that we are going to use on this smoked cabbage is the second part, is our onion. We're going to go ahead and put slices of this onion in here. You know, you can put chunks if you want to just keep the chunk thing going. I like slices. You know, this recipe is just merely a guide. It's not a manual, you know. And there's different stuff. Vegetarians, you can skip the next part. You could add something like mushrooms to this, something that would give it a unique flavor. Smoked mushrooms, smoked portobellos. That's one of the things that I love to put into a lot of our items. And this is something you can put into your cabbage as well. Go ahead and sprinkle these up on top of this. So, love the smell. These are sweet onions. I use different onions for different things. I like pickling with the purple or the red onion. The white onion I like to use in my chilies, some of my stews and stuff like that. But the sweet onion is what I reserve for hot dog toppings, and I love the sweet onion with the cabbage. So just a little bit of meat right there. I mean, onion is onion sometimes if you're just needing an onion, right? So let's go ahead and get that on there. Next ingredient that I'm going to go ahead and put into this dish is the aforementioned vegetables that I always talk about doing smoking when I'm smoking meats or I'm smoking side dishes or something. This is smoked garlic. Something that's really easy to do. You just get a clove of garlic, you lop the top of it off. I pour a little bit of olive oil on top of it and I set it in the smoker. I smoke it until I can grab the bulb with the top removed. You know, it's got the little bulbs in it, and you mash it, it just comes out like a paste. And that's what this is. It's just basically like a paste that I've chopped up and put in here. Just adds a little bit of a background flavor. And gosh, I love garlic. Garlic, onion, bacon, cabbage is a combination that's really, really hard to mix. But this is basically, I don't know, maybe a tablespoon. The next ingredient, and this is the one that you can skip if you're the vegetarians, but if you're not, like me, this is a half a pound of bacon. You can go ahead and put a whole pound of bacon in there if you like, but usually a half a pound. I'm hearing a lot of you folks screaming right now at this TV, like, go whole pound, go whole pound. It's something that's completely up to you. Half a pound is fine for me, that I've found. I just kind of roughly chop this. Note to self and note to you guys is bacon that is at room temperature does not slice as well as bacon that just comes out of the refrigerator. And for someone who goes, oh, bacon should not be hot, bacon's a cured product. Wouldn't recommend eating it raw but something unlike, like say, chicken that left out readily kind of draws bacteria to itself. I'm just going to kind of sprinkle this around a little bit. As we cook this, I will go outside, and as this starts to kind of break down, I will go back outside and give this a stir every now and then when it's in the smoker. That's just to make sure that some of the brown bits get mixed in and some of the parts that aren't brown get to become brown. Next thing, half a stick of butter. Because if like half a pound of bacon wasn't enough to give it some oil and some little bit of background flavor. Butter, more butter. Vegetarians, this is another step you guys can kind of skip. I'd probably recommend, an olive oil at this point. To me, it's kind of interchangeable. Butter and olive oil a lot of times are interchangeable to me, and I mean that's my personal preference. It's not one that's I guess the rule. All right, so that's pretty much what I do to this cabbage. Prior to getting it onto the smoker, I do have one final step, or two final steps. Is I like to add a little bit of acid to this. There's so much fat in there that this can be kind of overwhelming, especially when it all comes together. So I like to put our Redneck BBQ Lab North Carolina pork sauce in it, which is a vinegar-based sauce. It's not straight up vinegar, but it's got a good vinegar base in it. Plus, it's got a lot of other spices that you don't see me putting in here, like red pepper and stuff like that. And it's one of those things, too, that the vinegar will actually help the cabbage keep some of its cell wall integrity, meaning that it won't be as mushy as cabbage normally is that's cooked without some vinegar in it. So, again, this is just personal preference. To me, I'm guessing maybe half a cup. And the last ingredient that I add, friend of mine that competes on the tournament trail, Big Papa Sterling, has a product that's jalapeno seasoning, and it's one of these things that I use personally myself on French fries and a lot of stuff. And I've found that I absolutely, positively love this on cabbage. It's one of the things, cabbage and bacon. It's something that just a great combination. This can be found online at bigpapasmokers.com. Go there. He's got a lot of different stuff, got a lot of really cool grills. He's got a lot of videos out as well. Hit him up. But this is one of the products that I really like on cabbage. And you'll probably see me before it hits the table. Before I take a bite, I'll probably re-season this. Instead of using table salt, I'll probably use this on this cabbage. So there's a little tip for you guys. Big Papa's Hallelujah Jalapeno Seasoning. It's good stuff. So that's pretty much it. The only thing we got to do now is to take this big old pot, and you can cook this on the stove, but today we've got our smoker rolling. We're cooking some proteins in there, so I'm going to go throw this on the smoker. I'm going to let it set and cook. It's going to take somewhere between an hour to 3 hours to cook. It's just like barbecue. It's done when it's done. There's no set time limit. Just make sure you give yourself plenty of time to be able to finish this product. Make sure it's tender. And if you do, it'll be a great side dish to add to anything you're cooking or just as a dish itself. So let's go throw this on the smoker. All right, we got our cabbage, onions, bacon. Smelling really good, I can go ahead and tell you that. We got our smoker heated up right now. We got it smoking. Just go ahead and throw it in there. Like I said, probably gonna take about an hour to 3 hours to cook. And just let the smoker do the work. It's about 3 hours. All right, gonna take a sneak peek at this cabbage here, see what we've got going on. Probably give it a little stir. Oh yeah. You can see she's starting to caramelize. You can see the bacon starting to caramelize. Remember how tall it was? It was all the way up here. Look how she's starting to go down, concentrate. So let's get her in here. You can see our liquid's down at the bottom. It's give her a quick stir, making sure we kind of get everything incorporated, all that goodness we put in there. Redneck BBQ Lab sauce, along with that butter and that jalapeno, Big Papa Jalapeno Seasoning. Get it all in there, and it smells good. A little bit of vinegar in there. I am so excited about this, but not ready. But we're gonna take a sneak little peek to make sure. No, man, that tastes good. Not quite done. Let's keep cooking a little while longer. Okay, we're back. About 3 hours on the smoker. Reached into the smoker, pulled out our pot, tasted our cabbage. Cabbage was nice and tender. It's got a lot going on in here, and I just want to show you guys this. But first thing, just want to remind you guys, if you like this video, please go to our YouTube channel. Like it, subscribe to it, click on that bell for those notifications of this video or any other videos in the future that we may be doing. Share this with your friends, and please leave your comments and suggestions as to what you thought about this video, suggestions like what you'd like to see in the future. So now that I've said that, let's take a peek inside and see what we did out on the smoker. Oh yeah. Whew. The biggest disservice that we are doing in this video is this one thing. You can't smell. You always hear that and you always see it, but the smell from this pot is incredible. Just to recap what we did. We started out, we took a whole head of North Carolina cabbage and we chopped it up into little bite-sized pieces. We quartered it, then we cut the quarters into eighths, and then chopped it all up, put it in here, put a little bit of our Redneck BBQ Lab all-purpose seasoning in there, put a layer of sweet onions on top, followed by some bacon. We put some butter in there. We put a little bit of our Redneck BBQ Lab North Carolina pork sauce. These products you can find at our website, www.theredneckbarbecuelab.com. Find our sauce in there, as well as some Big Papas Hallelujah Jalapeno Seasoning there on the end, just because I like that rub. It's one of those things that's kind of like our all-purpose rub. It's really unique, and it just sometimes goes well with something, and that something today is these cabbage that we did. I almost forgot. We put a ½ pound of bacon in there too. You can add more if you want to, but I certainly think this is enough. My thing was, if you remember, we started out in this big heaping pile of vegetables and stuff, and now you can kind of see about how, it cooks down, a lot of the water evaporates, a lot of the goodness is left in the bottom. My mouth is salivating. I need to get in there and find out what this goodness my nose is telling me is all about in there. I do these videos for you guys, but I tell you what, one of the perks of this job is definitely getting in here and getting to try something like this. Remember, it's just something simple. You could be cooking something in the smoker. You could put together some bits and pieces of vegetables that you have in there along with the smoker. It doesn't have to be cabbage. It could be your collards. It could be just root vegetables or whatever, and create a side dish to go alongside with whatever protein you're in there cooking. In terms of vegetarians, I highly recommend, like I said, don't need the butter. You can use olive oil, the bacon, portobello mushrooms. It'll give it a unique flavor and really that kind of kick that it needs in there. So let's get in there and see how we did. As always, my mouth is just sitting here salivating. So cheers. It's like a bite of barbecue. I always say a good bite of barbecue has 4 qualities. It's sweet, it's salty, it's got some heat on it, and it's got a little smoke to it. And it's that balance. That balanced bite of that barbecue is what you want. And this, my friends, is like a bite of barbecue. It's got the sweet from the cabbage and the butter and the onion. It's got the smoke from that hickory smoke and the hickory charcoal we use. It's got that little heat, that kick from that North Carolina Redneck BBQ Lab, North Carolina barbecue sauce that we put in there. It's got that red pepper, got that black pepper, got that vinegar. That vinegar helps keep this cabbage. This cabbage is tender, but it doesn't fall apart. It's not mush. It's not mush at all. It's remained, the integrity's remained in there. And it's got a little bit of saltiness that comes in there from that jalapeno rub that we put there on top there at the very end. And that too leads to a little bit of a background flavor, and it's just outstanding. This right here is a meal by itself, but it's something I put alongside any other kind of barbecue that I do. I'm gonna tear this up after this, but first I just want to tell you guys, thank y'all for watching. I'm Jerry Stevenson, Chief Redneck in Charge at the Redneck BBQ Lab, Johnson County. Here with my friend Mike Baker from Event Webcasting. He's the brains and the brilliance behind all this magic you see going on here at the RBL studios. Making out videos like this today for you guys. We're gonna keep doing them. You guys keep telling us what you like. You guys keep telling us about your comments, what you'd like to see in the future, and we'll keep doing it for you. Once again, folks, remember, be kind to one another, smile, pass that stuff around. It's contagious. Those two things right there can help anyone overcome any problem they have in the world. So until I see you guys next time, much love. See y'all.